I remember when I finished my university education, I was posted to a school in Nakuru to teach. And in one of the mornings in my class, I noticed a student who was sitting like that girl that you can see on the screen. Others were writing, she wasn't writing. Others were doing things, she just looks sad. Those days, if you saw a student like that, you thought they were arrogant and you should take a cane and whip them. But for some reason, by that time, I was already a trained teacher. Before, as a teacher trainee, I would have caned them. But on that particular day, luckily, I had graduated from school and they had taught us some psychology. And I thought, there must be something wrong with this young girl. So I went to her and asked her, were you in class last week? She said, no. Then I said, okay, let's do this. Flip 3 or 4 pages and start writing from here. And then after that, we can talk, see what happened. So she did. She flipped and started writing on the other side, taking the notes and things like that. So after class, I called her. She came to my office, and I asked her, what's your name? And when she gave me the name, it had the name Koigi at the end. Those of you who are not Gen Z enough will remember that in those times, Koigi Wamwere was one of the freedom fighters of this country, fighting for the transformation of this country. And he was harassed many times. Police went to his home, they raided his home, they beat up his family, friends, mother, everyone. And this girl, that previous week, had been in that circumstance. So they were struggling at home to think about how to deal with their mother, who had been brutalized by police, her brother, who had already been incarcerated. I did not know this. But that girl was sitting there, and because of the things that had happened to her, she was being unable to learn in my class. But have we equipped, Prof. Ogutu, are we equipping our teachers with enough skills to be able to see this kind of difference in our classes? Now, I know that many of us, especially at the university level, you become a professional in your field, you have a PhD, you are a professor in a certain field of specialization, maybe a biotechnologist, for example. Let me just give one big name, biotechnologist, for example. But you have never been taught about pedagogy. Once you come here, we check whether you have a PhD, you have all these things, we say, right, you're a nice professor, classroom, 500 people, microphone. Please teach. And then after that, examine them. Then tell us how well they did. Is it possible that these guys need to be equipped with some skills so that they are able to handle students in their classroom environment? We had this experience as part of what Professor Ogutu mentioned. I was part of the team in East Africa who are developing certain standards and the regional quality assurance system. And we went to a university in Morogoro. And we had asked them to do an assessment. We called students to talk to them. And the students had been assessing their professors. And they told us of this case of a professor whom they rated very poorly because he was a bad teacher. But when this professor was rated very poorly for teaching, he went and took some courses on teaching and learning. These are the students who are telling us. It's not the professor himself. He went and took some courses in teaching and learning, pedagogies and things like that. Then he came back, he was teaching, and eventually this student told us he became the best teacher in that university, and they rated him accordingly. The point I'm making is, yes, we can be experts in our own fields, but we may need to be equipped with some certain skills to be able to handle some certain circumstances that could happen in our classes that we can be able to see. And we need to allow our academic staff members to be open enough in their minds that when you call them for those kind of things, they don't think, hey, what are you teaching me? I have been teaching in the university for 40 years. Now you want to tell me how to teach? I can see there's some experience. No, really, we need to open our minds to the fact that learning is continuous, and it's continuous for all of us. And teaching is a profession like any other, and we need some certain skills. And if we do that and we get our best minds to also become best teachers, I am sure the approach the students will produce best graduates.